So my name is Andrew Coe and I act as a tutor on the business of motorsport programs at the National Motorsport Academy. I've worked in the sports business for over 30 years, including having worked for the world governing body of tennis, at that time with responsibility for commercial activities and technical activities, at a time of great change in that sport. But from 2001 until 2014, I was chief executive of the commercial arm of the governing body of UK motorsport, then called the Motorsport Association and now called Motorsport UK. And I held responsibility for large teams delivering some of the UK's very biggest annual motorsport events, including the F1 British Grand Prix at Silverstone, the UK rounds of the World Rally Championship, the European Rally Championship, and as well as some interesting other events, including the London to Brighton Veteran Car Run. I also represented the UK on various FIA international committees and working groups to help develop the sport. So my areas in the BOM programme are really focused on the governance, the structures and the history of motorsport. And also I do another module on the commercial activities, which focuses on many different aspects of commercial activity which perhaps people don't think are uppermost in their minds anyway, including event management and driver development pathways. So what are the biggest challenges facing motorsport industry and the sport today? Well, managing the regulations for highly innovative versions of motorsports and at the same time safeguarding the interests of drivers and safety, and balancing these interests against the commercial stakeholders involved in the sport. This has become a real and almost everyday challenge, which is exposing the FIA, the world governing body, to increasing scrutiny and criticism. And of course, all this comes at a time when motorsport is facing the most fundamental evolution in its history, the move away from the internal combustion engine and driven by the politics of climate change and market demand towards a more eco-friendly form of drivetrain technology. Motorsport may yet again play its now familiar role in helping to persuade the general public of the credibility and the appeal of this new technology. And governance of motorsport is likely to play the same crucial role as it did in the early 20th century over the coming decades. An equally challenging situation also faces the future growth of motorsport with the onset of esports. So increasing participation in a sport which has always traditionally been reserved for those in society with the means to pay to take part, this has always been a challenge, and the rapid development of esports provides a unique opportunity for motorsport governing bodies to embrace this trend and to expand the pathways for entry into the sport in new and perhaps innovative ways. The alternative, of course, is to ignore such an opportunity and perhaps face increasing competition from a new form of virtual racing. Esports are already attracting investment from vehicle manufacturers and sponsors whose natural territory might have been and should be the actual physical motorsport. And this will not be going unnoticed by the existing organisations with responsibility for the growth of the sport. But what can they do about it? Well, we shall see. It's going to be an interesting few years. How can these challenges be addressed? Well, in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll undoubtedly see some of the most significant changes in the way in which motorsports develop than at any time during the past 120 years. And those responsible for managing this change will have to draw on an extraordinary mix of vision and experience to ensure that the next 120 years is equally as successful. So is there a skills gap currently in motorsport leadership? Well, yes, I believe there is, and I think this course is testament to that. It's not a unique situation to motorsport. Many industries suffer the same issue, not being sufficiently outwards looking, and particularly when looking to attract new talent for senior positions. And this programme is, I believe, key to developing a new way of thinking, which will begin to attract new and open-minded individuals to play these really important roles in the future development of the sport.